Good evening, everybody. I'm a little bit early for tonight's election night coverage. Now, I know some people get bored of politics. I am not one of those people. I fucking love this shit. This is another one of those things that it's like a sporting event for me. Sorry. Oh, man. Probably should have waited a couple more minutes before I started. Got to take some medicine. 1 second. Don't worry, YouTube. It is just ibuprofen. It is not a drug of any real sort. Thank you, tall person. Dang it, I can't watch this live. I have to sleep. Sorry about that, bud. Go get some sleep and enjoy it. According to CNN, the Democrats have taken the House. A lot of other sources have already claimed that. I'm using CNN tonight, guys, for a very specific reason. Nobody can accuse me of looking at these results and saying that I went with a source that I like. I think CNN is mostly full of shit. And when I say mostly full of shit, I mean completely full of shit. But their numbers are the same numbers everybody else is using. It's just a guess as to whether or not, people are actually winning the races. And it does. There's some blue going on in the center of the country. Iowa's looking very blue in the House. According to CNN, Democrats have control of 155 seats right now, while the Republicans have 153 in the House. Over in the Senate, the Republicans have 50 seats. The Democrats have 40. They've called the Senate for the Republicans because at 50, the vice president would break any ties. Peter says a dislike already. Somebody gave me a dislike. What the hell? That's not very cool. We're going to get some people in here to chat with me as we go along. But first, we're going to get my thoughts on what's happening with the election. And anybody who comes in later, you're probably not going to hear this. And I'm sorry I started without you. What is with the spoons? I don't understand the spoons. Somebody explain spoons to me, because I'm sure I know I know there's something with spoons out there. I just forgot what. Jacob says cough. Polydub. Actually, I don't know if Polly wants to come on. He's welcome to come on. The two people that I do have lined up right now is Three-Sided Coin and Prospero. Let me get some links out here. Well, like I said, I want to talk for just a second first. As we look at the Senate, CNN has called Texas for Ted Cruz, ending Beto O'Rourke's historic rise in Texas. They've treated this man like he's the second coming of Jesus, and he's just some moron who looks like a Kennedy. And there's no fucking way he was going to win this race. Estimated 92% in, he's losing 51% to Cruz, almost 52% to 57%, almost 58% to O'Rourke. He's down by 4 points. And he's not coming back from that one. However, there's people like Alyssa Milano out there who think hashtag Beto 2020, that Beto O'Rourke is going to run for the presidency. Let me explain this to you guys. There's not going to be a white man at the head of the Democratic ticket in 2020. There's just not. There are too many, how do I want to say this, minorities running that want that spot. And there have been too many articles, too many speeches about how bad white men are. And sorry, white guys, you don't get to run in the Democratic Party. You can go try to start your own party, the Democratic White Man's Party. But as a Democrat, you are not going to be the running on the main ticket for the Democrats in 2020. Seal says, what do you think of that Facebook thing I DM'd you? I haven't seen it, Seal. I'll have to check it out. I do think the election results are unsurprising. What's this? I continued the cycle of my own oppression today. Somebody voting. I'm assuming, what is this, a libertarian or something? Anyway, the results are unsurprising. We knew pretty much that the Senate was going to stay to the Republicans, that the House might go to the Democrats. They had to pick up at least 23 seats total, I think they might end up with like a 10-point or 10-person majority in the House, which doesn't mean much other than they can be obstructionists for a while. They're not going to be able to impeach. They can try. They can actually impeach Donald Trump, but the Senate being Democrat or Republican, God damn, I keep doing that tonight. The Senate being Republican, there's no way they're going to vote to remove him from office. So an impeachment is nothing. It's literally nothing. Fox said John James was up at 35% while CNN said he was down with 35%. There is no bias. Well, let's take a look at that, because that's where I live, guys. John James is running for the Senate in Michigan against Debbie Stabenow. They have Stabenow up by almost 10 points here in Michigan over on CNN. She's up by 250,000 votes, almost 250,000 exactly, 250,110 to be exact. 69% reporting in already. We don't have the thumb of the mitt. We're missing some of the middle ground, which is probably going to go Newaygo, Montcalm, Ionia, Barry. Those can go either way. So they haven't reported in at all yet, though. So we'll see. I think Stabenow will keep it. I don't like Debbie Stabenow, but I don't know enough about John James to support him either. I just like to see Stabenow out. We're almost at 11:15ish. Let's see if we can get some peeps in here that want to hang out and discuss what this means for the country and what's going on with the election. Prospero, your Twitter picture always throws me off. I always have to look you up, even though you're usually in the top of my DMs. There's that one. And I don't know if Three-Sided Coin can get in here right now, but he wanted to come hang out and talk. Three-Sided Coin was offering a $100 bet that Beto would beat Cruz. And I told him I didn't have the money to take the bet. If I did, I would have definitely taken that bet, because there was no fucking way he was going to win. Oh God, I'm getting Three-Sided said he'll be here in about 10 minutes. That's fine. Take your time, man. No rush. I'm going to be here for a little while tonight until we get a little better idea of what's going on with the House, because that's the important one. The balance of power hangs there. Not really. It doesn't, because nothing was happening with the Republicans any fucking way. They weren't doing anything. They certainly didn't pass any funding for the wall. They didn't get rid of Obamacare, as they said they would. And whether you think those are good or bad things, it's not like they were out there just green-lighting everything that Trump wanted done, as people seem to make it sound. We got to stop them. They weren't doing anything. Sorry, typing to somebody. There we go. Hi, Prospero. How are you tonight?
Doing well, thanks. How are you?
I am not worth talking about.
Oh, that's optimistic.
I'm doing about as good as the Republicans in the House are doing.
Yeah, it looks like plus 34, which is not a blue wave. It's not. It's a little bit more than a blue puppy piddle.
Yes, it's like a blue trickle.
Yeah, they control the majority of the districts anyway, don't they? I mean, it's as far as high population districts go.
Well, yeah, the high population districts tend to vote Democrat. So that's looking at the map so far. It is amazing how much of the countries, the middle country, is turning blue. You got some in Mississippi. Iowa's like half blue right now.
Iowa's always been an outlier, though, because of the old Grange Party crowd, and
they go back and forth. Montana is going blue. There's part of Idaho's going blue. New Mexico. From what we're seeing, there's a lot of blue on the map, where usually the last couple of these maps we've seen have been pretty fucking red. So
But look at the pop statistics out of California. They're invading the rest of the country because the middle class is abandoning California.
Yeah, there's no reason to be in California.
Oh no, there isn't, and I have family there, and I don't understand them.
Guys, we're gonna go over the results again right now. CNN has it 50 Republicans have won the Senate to 40 Democrats. Over in the House, it's 159 to 161. That's 159 Democrats. They're still saying Democrats winning the House because of the seats that have flipped already. And Democratic governorships, we have 16 to 20 Republicans. That's one people might not pay a lot of attention to, but that does tend to give us a view of what people are thinking out there. Not all governors ran, guys. So this is there's several states that didn't have governor elections right now.
Yeah, if I recall, Silver's prediction on 538 was 26-24 Republican to Democrat.
Yeah, I think that'll be about right.
Interesting news, though. The guy that defeated Eric Cantor looks like he might not hold his seat in the Congress.
Why's that?
Spanberger is ahead. She's a local from the area, just like Bratt was. And that if that seat flips blue, that's a huge change for Central Virginia. Huge.
Looking at the CNN flipped map, we have a flip in Arizona, one that might flip in Florida. Okay, I got to zoom this in because it's hard to tell which counties are where. This is part of fucking state is that? Oh, it's Virginia House seat 2. Oh, that's Chesapeake. Okay, I see what I'm looking at. They're showing that as flipped.
This is the Virginia 7th, I think, which is bordering Richmond and a little west and a little north. We were redistricted not all that long ago. I used to be in his district, and because I'm in the city, I was shifted to a district that includes Petersburg.
Well, this CNN map is a pain in the ass. But yeah, they don't have any prediction on Virginia 7 yet. They do have Virginia 10, Wexton taking over Comstock, the incumbent there, to flip it blue. Let's see. Pennsylvania has several ones that flip blue.
That's normal, though. I mean, Pennsylvania has, you've got, it's local versus national. Even though these are nationally impacting elections, they're still local. And so there's that weird thing about the Rust Belt states. They're still reflexive old Union Democrats.
Real quick, thank you, Dark Shade. Watch the President Evil trailer yet, you monkey? No, I have not. I know you keep reminding me, but once the show's gone, I always forget, and I apologize for that. I promise you I will eventually check it out. Let's see. Hi, Polly. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you guys?
Polly.
I'm okay. Sore, but happy to be alive. But I am a little lonely because Lady Monkey has left to go visit her dad.
Oh, so she's coming into the heart of darkness.
Yeah.
Speaking of ladies, I got a great story for you.
Uh-oh. Go ahead.
I updated MS Word a couple days ago, and I was looking over a research paper, doing spot checks for editing, and I had typed Lady Bird Johnson, and after the update, it auto-corrected it to Person Bird Johnson.
No.
Person Bird. You got to be kidding me. Real quick, Ragnar, thank you. A quarter of Beto's votes are Californians. Beto was never going to win this fucking race. I don't.
He got a lot closer than I thought he would, though.
Yeah, but how about DeSantis in Florida, huh?
We'll get to DeSantis in a minute. I want to talk about this. I want to talk. Well, we'll wait for three-sided coin because he did want to talk about Beto. So yeah, let's talk about DeSantis in Florida. I'm not really surprised there.
No.
No, Florida goes back and forth, blue and red. I with the Senate going red, I am not surprised the Florida or the governorship's going to go red. So I'm not surprised by Florida at all.
Well,
it could have gone either way, and I'd be not surprised just because it's fucking Florida. It's fucking Florida.
Well, I mean, okay, Florida can be fickle. I hear you, but it hey man, with they pulled out every stop. Gillum with the he called me a monkey. Like, I mean, that was
and he used the phrase cotton picking.
Yeah.
He's racist. You know, I've used the phrase cotton picking many times, and it's not. I don't actually mean black people out there picking cotton.
Yeah,
it never meant that ever in my life.
I use the phrase cotton picking and also maroon, but that's just because I like Bugs Bunny. And
yeah. Are you out of your?
I call people maroons, and they're like, "What?"
It's like, you never watched Looney Tunes? Come on now.
Thank you, Joshua Edwards. Really glad that Patty O. Sanchez didn't take Texas.
That's Beto.
Oh, Beto?
Beto.
That's beat off of Orc. Yeah.
Or beat it. I think we should start just humming Michael Jackson. Yeah. Beat it, O'Rourke.
I have no idea how many. Wow, a lot of you guys have tuned in to watch this shit, and I feel bad about that because why are you watching me? No, I thank you guys so much for watching. However, if you'd like to have a little fun, I just want. I'm going to throw a link in chat here, and I think you should go over there, and we should find something funny to say to Satsu, because we're not technically taken off yet, because this is an 11:30 show, guys. But that's where Satsu's overplaying Red Dead, and if you go over there, let's see, what should we say to Satsu?
Beat up suffragettes.
Shoot suffragettes. Go over there and tell them that. Well, suffragettes is hard. Shoot bitches. That's what you should go tell them. Why are you watching me, Matt? Man, now you sound like my hot neighbor. Well, I could be. Yeah, please like and share the stream, guys, if you're enjoying what we do here. Are there any of the election results that you've seen? I suppose with you, Polly, it's Florida, but any of them that are like really surprising to you?
I wouldn't call it really surprising, but it was surprising. Florida. No,
I just don't think the thing that's jumping out at me is like, wow, that happened.
No, I didn't consider most of the races and the ones that were toss ups. Yeah, okay, I could have seen it going either way for the reason that makes it a toss up to begin with. On the Lords of the Night stream, I said never bet against Paulie. I was just kind of like riffing off of Sticks, Hex, and Hammer. I was watching his. He's very quick to congratulate himself, and justifiably so. He makes a number of good calls, but he tends to make calls on the things that are, if you're clear headed about it, you should be able to make that call. And it's like, wow, the Democrats are going to take the House by a small margin or lose it by a small margin, and the Republicans are going to maintain the Senate and probably pick up at least 3 seats. Yeah, that was just where the safe money was going,
Well, the safe money. We talked about this on Monkey in the Morning a couple of times, how like 538 at one point had it Democrats taking 60 seats. I'm like, no fucking way. There's no fucking way.
Cenk over at Young Turks said minimum of 40.
Yeah.
And he's sweaty. I was joking on Discord just a few minutes ago that it's like, I really believe I can see the reflection of the camera in his forehead. I don't know why he opposes the use of pancake powder, but he does, and he's a sweaty man.
Guys, if you go over to Satsu, just say to him, penis toothbrush.
Oh no.
Just penis toothbrush. Don't tell him why, just penis toothbrush, like his shit, and then come back.
Jesus Christ. Like, you're never going to give up the Fight Club thing, are you?
No, because that movie sucked. They're saying we have a flip for governor in Kansas.
Yep.
Michigan. Well, Michigan's a flip, but it's not an incumbent one. I don't think Kansas was either. Illinois seems to be the only flip for governor that had an incumbent. God, I can't believe it. Every time we get a Democrat in the governorship, it shit goes wrong, guys. It just goes wrong.
Peter asks, what is 548? I keep hearing about it. It's actually 538, and it's Nate Silver's site. He's a political statistician, pundit, promoter, self-promoter, really.
He blew the Hillary thing big.
Yeah, and everybody focused
71%.
Yeah, but he was, again, his model is not his aggregate model is not wrong. The polling models were wrong. So I mean, garbage in, garbage out.
Well, the problem with it, here's what happened. He's not the first person this has happened with. There'll be an election where most people get it wrong and somebody gets it like almost dead on, and that happened with him. What was that in 2008?
Yep. He made bank on Obama,
and everybody's like, oh wow, he must do it really good. And then the Trump election came along. He completely fucked up the Republican primary, and he came out and said, well, I was how do you say it? He was a little too political about it or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the general election happened, and he gave Trump 29% chance to win.
Yep, he started out at 71, and it just the real time on 538 is it's like watching the Young Turks. It's a glorious thing to watch it just plummet.
Alyssa Halcombe says, did you see the stuff about Susan B. Anthony's grave? What'd they do to Susan B. Anthony's grave?
Oh, I voted stickers all over it and flowers because she was stunning and brave.
Cenk's testicles are kept in a nightstand next to Anna's coffin. No, if you guys actually watch, Cenk controls Anna.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's on leash.
Oh, yeah, you're not wrong.
She's a good girl.
She's a good California girl now. She's the California surfer girl.
She's better than you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm not surprised by the election. I love this shit. Do you guys like politics?
Yes.
As an entity, just politics itself. I think I could go watch politics in any country, and just somebody explain to me who the people are, and I would just love it, just to sit there and watch it and go, "This is amazing."
I gotta do it for a living. I mean, I better love it.
Kosovo would have made you happy then, Monkey. When the guy shot off the live fireworks inside the legislative chamber, two warring factions, and somebody just started launching fireworks at their opposing faction. It was glorious. I mean, it made those fist fights in the Korean Diet look like nothing.
Oh shit, I'm not on.
Kathy Carpenter said you guys should have seen Styx's fans spam the chat on TYT. Yeah, it was glorious. It was shitlordery of the nth degree. It was awesome. Had them down like 14,000 votes at one point. Downvoted them to 14,000 downvotes when they were only at like 8+. And Anna had to actually ask the fans to counter the Trump fuckboys. Can you guys just please press the upvote to like counter this?
That's a Jeb Bush moment. Please clap.
Right? Yeah, please upvote. Exactly. Good call. No, but it was legend, and trolling it by throwing. Yeah, there they are, the spoons. It was pure spoon clanks up in their chat during their live stream.
I always tell people to do nice things, like go say to Satsu, penis toothbrush, but upvote is shit. Don't downvote anything, because I didn't watch the TYT one because we were live anyway. I did tune in for a second, but it's like I don't care. I'm not a huge Styx fan. I prefer Razor Fist if we're talking about,
He had Razor Fist on tonight, dear.
Yeah, for the first time ever. It was wild.
Fist on doesn't make him Razor Fist.
No. Like my favorite YouTuber next to you, Monkey, is Razor Fist by far.
I love him. God fucking speed.
Yeah. Razor Fist is epically good at what he does. And
Yes,
with all due respects to Styx,
I don't hate
Razor Fist's analysis is a little bit more on point, you know. And
if I have to see him drink tea and talk about his garden much more,
I will. Again, I'm not a big Styx fan myself, but I have to give him credit today for two things. One, he was trending, which he's never done before in 10 years on YouTube, first time, with 25,000 people watching his live stream, and it's just him sitting there in front of his wall, you know, the background that he sets up. That's pretty good, man. You got and didn't turn super chat on.
No.
Kathy Carpenter says haven't had much on Razor Fist. We'll check him out. He does a lot of video game stuff too. Go through his content to find what you like, because I don't pay attention much to his video game stuff, but his political commentary is fucking beautiful.
It's glorious. I mean, he is a wordsmith.
It's like Dennis Miller on meth, and it's great.
Yes, it is.
And even the description that he came up with for his own channel is beautiful. The excellence of elocution. I was like, oh, hell yeah, buddy. Well done.
We started out in radio, so
Yeah.
you know, he's got that delivery. But it was the funny thing he said to Styx is, I almost showed up with a cup of coffee and a spoon.
Yeah.
And Styx, of course, was wearing a Spoon T-shirt.
Yeah.
Which was
T-shirt on?
Yeah, he had a shirt on.
He wears a shirt these days. For those of you who don't know, Styx.
Not always.
Kind of bird trying to fly away on
wearing a shirt.
Not always.
And he's a rather gangly gentleman, and so it's kind of weird.
He had a couple bud cans sitting next to him too.
Yeah. For the record, my super chat is turned the fuck on, and please donate if you enjoy what I do here, because working for free is stupid.
I did Razor Fist's line when he guessed it was this the stuff he comes up with off the top of his head. He goes, if things continue as they've started out tonight, the blue wave is going to be able to fit inside a Listerine cup.
Yeah, that was.
But the blue wave just didn't happen, and we're still going to hear about it. It's still going to be it's the blue wave, and it just didn't happen.
They'll try that until people actually show them the actual numbers, and then they'll go back to screeching Nazi.
Yeah,
that's the only thing they have. It's like that Forbes reporter today just losing it about the machines locked in the Detroit precinct.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the county clerk is a Democrat, and it was this is why the GOP's voter suppression needs to be investigated. These fascists,
for their lack of power cords.
I'm tired of hearing the word fascist. Look it up, people, and use it properly, or stop using it.
Yeah, Inigo Montoya is going to come to your house and kill your father if you don't.
Quoth the Raven asked a question here. Great name, by the way. Quoth the Raven, awesome name.
Yes.
What do you think of John Ward? If you're a fan of Razor Fist, you should be really watching John Ward. Great YouTuber. What's that?
I said I don't know who John Ward is.
You monkey should check out John Ward.
See, you're gonna tell me to check out stuff, and I don't have time.
I know. I hear you. YouTube is just it's a labyrinth, man. You can get lost. I came across John Ward by accident, and I was like, I watched one video. Don Lemon ends Don Lemon's career, and I was like, what the hell does that even mean? And clicked on it, and I was like, man, I was sold after that one video.
Except Don Lemon, short of shooting a baby on live TV, is going to be fine.
By virtue of where he works, yeah, absolutely, I agree.
Now, if you shot baby cum, it would be a different thing, but it's.
Thank you, Alyssa. Democrats take the House while Republicans retain control of the Senate in an election season marred by violence and heated rhetoric. AJ English News Alert.
Al Jazeera.
Three-sided coin. How you doing, bud?
All right. Let me have it.
I'm not going to let you have it. I do think anybody who thought Beto Beat-Off could win was delusional. He got a lot more national press than he deserved. because he was running against Ted Cruz. His votes are against Ted Cruz, not in favor of him.
Well, I'm not so sure about that. So I went to both. I went to both the Beto and Cruz rallies, and I just based on enthusiasm. That's where I was at. Just based on enthusiasm and yard signs. That's where my thought was. It was the same. It was same in 16 with Trump in PA when I was there at that time. That's all.
I get you. I do. But most of the enthusiasm I saw for him had nothing to do with him. There was never, this is the policy he wants to run on. It was, look, he's driving his truck and talking to a camera and going to kill somebody.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But, also half of Silicon Valley now lives in Austin. So
right. And Austin went firmly blue.
I was there last week on Wednesday, and it's just turning into a complete and utter S show down there. I saw somebody at 3 a.m. ODing on 6th Street down that way. Ooh. It's just so bad down that way.
Yeah, I've heard there's a lot of Californians that moved to Texas over the last almost decade now.
Yeah, definitely. I'm from the East Coast. I do New York, and Texas is my territory with my clients, but yeah. Where were you guys before I jumped in? What were you guys talking about?
I was about to put to the panel a question that Scribe had put to us. What do the Democrats in the House do now? What do they do to? Oh, real quick, sorry, I have a donation over on Streamlabs. Thank you so much. The UPO answer: when will Flint be able to drink tap water? Soon. So many people think the problem with that was that the water was bad. The water was never bad. It was the pipes. And when they switched water providers, they're supposed to put a chemical into the water that kept the lead from coming into the water, which they didn't do. The water's fine. It's the pipes. And what they really should do is rip them all out, burn the whole fucking city down and rebuild it, but they won't do that. Yeah, they don't drink tap water. Get yourself dig a well, for fuck's sake.
Dig
in the room.
It's the same water table, monkey. Dig a well.
Well, no, it's not. It was the pipes that were bringing in from, I believe, Lake Michigan. When they switched to Lake Michigan, the pipes that were bringing it in were kind of garbage.
Well, it was the same pipes that they were pulling in from the other ones. The problem was they didn't put the chemical in.
Hold on. I didn't follow the story that closely. I remember, of course, the pipes, but it was exclusively the pipes?
Yeah, the pipes are where the lead is. The lead is not in the water itself.
That color of that water was exclusively from lead.
And other corrosives, yeah.
In the pipes.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, the story that you saw in the headline. See, yes, sir. Yes, Ranting Monkey's right. I followed this quite closely. They switched water providers, and the water they're getting it from is they just, you run it through a filter, fine. But it was coming into houses that had lead pipes, and there's supposed to be a chemical they put in it to keep the lead from seeping into the water, and they didn't. What did you want said to Satsu Von Scrub? Oh, go over there and just say penis toothbrush. I don't think he even knows what that means. I don't think he was here when we were talking about it, but that's funny to me. So that's what I want you to say.
I thought they had toxified their water supply, plus their pipes were extremely outdated. I didn't think that was just because that's mind blowing. Okay, shit.
No, if that was the problem, people couldn't swim in Lake Michigan.
Did they eschew putting the chemical in because they were like enviro-Nazis, or were they just lazy and cheap?
From the sound of it, from everything we've heard, they were just lazy and cheap.
Yeah. Lowest bidder contract.
Update on the House, CNN, which is still calling, by the way, CNN is calling the House for the Democrats. Total right now, 168 for the Democrats, 166 for the Republicans. They still are at 50 for the Republicans and now 42 for the Democrats in the Senate. But anyway, the question I wanted to put to you guys, what can the Democrats do in the House to help position themselves for 2020?
Grandstand.
I'm
That's
sorry.
all-
What was that?
Grandstand. That's all they're gonna do. They're just gonna sit there and grandstand. I swear to God, if they put Skeletor back into power as a speaker, I am going to lose it.
Oh, they will.
They will.
Maybe.
Well,
Who else do you
it's
think
either
could?
that or they're going to pick somebody even more extreme than she. And if they do that, they're shooting themselves in the foot in 2020.
The problem is there's just no leadership with the Democrats.
There's no message.
Not
what is-
Trump, right? That's exactly it. It's like, and then progressives like me are like holding our thumbs up our asses. Hey, what the fuck do we vote for now? Give me something to vote for.
They're not going to do that.
I know.
They were able to shut up the burning wing, and they actually apparently consider that some kind of victory, no matter how much lip service they pay to Ocasio-Cortez and her ilk. They have, I mean, they have a huge fracture within the party, and can you imagine what the caucuses are going to be like?
Well, that's
If Pelosi goes back in, because if you've got that kind of split within the party, it's going to make the what looked like a fracturing of the Republican Party look like, a little girls' tea party.
The DNC has poor leadership, number one, and like in the House they have none. Like under Pelosi, like the Black Caucus does not follow Pelosi or anybody, and the Progressive Caucus certainly doesn't. Like, I mean, they're more factionalized than the fucking Republicans are, and the Republicans are pretty factionalized.
They're less so than they used to be.
The problem with the Democrats right now is, and we read a story about this the other day. They don't have a message. Like Three-Sided Coin was just saying, there's nothing to vote for other than we hate Trump. And you have the old guard. I actually think Nancy Pelosi is probably the best bet for the Democrats, because she's already said, we are not, no impeachment. It's not on the table, period. And I think as part of the old guard, she will try to at least get like a budget fight going. A good budget fight could help the Democrats. It really could. Just be like, look, we're not going to give you money for the wall. We're going to put money in, say, healthcare. That would be an excellent fight for them to have. It would give their constituents something to vote for. If they
doesn't have a backbone for that. She doesn't. She's in the pocket. She's in the pocket of big pharma, and I mean that it would just be more grandstanding, and us progressives would just see right through it.
But don't you think that at least gives you something to vote for? Okay, let me ask you this: as a progressive, what would you need from Congress? What would be a platform, or even just a single policy that you would be like, yes, finally somebody's doing it?
You're talking an olive branch. What would be an olive branch from the old guard corporate Democrats to a more progressive person?
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, you can pick a multitude of things. Just and it.
Because
education.
There is anything.
No, education. They could harp on education and try to do something like put funding in for universal community college or something of that nature. I could totally see that.
Universal education, you think, is going to unite them?
Well,
it would be an olive branch.
Exactly.
Yeah, it would be, but then it comes down to the funding and the that's
it depends. It depends if you want to go on Keynesian economics like we're supposed to be doing, and during fat times, and not go lean on during fat times. But that's a whole nother conversation, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, because that depends on whether you think that Krugman's interpretation of Keynesian economics is what Keynes was really saying. So that's kind of, if the economy keeps going well and the Democrats back something that is demonstrably obstructive to economic growth, They
Well,
might have.
Economic growth. We are at 25,400 on the Dow. What more economic growth do you want?
That's not the measure I'm talking about. I'm talking about the actual provable measure to the citizen.
All right. Well, yeah.
Less than half of the population is invested in the Dow, so that's not.
Then why does Trump keep on going ahead and saying, look at the stock market, it's so great, and it's working for him? Why is that a thing? Because people don't realize that
what sells to corporatist Democrats, dear. That's one of the reasons.
I have a donation. Again, thank you, the UFO answer, who I call Bob. Republicans ran anti-Obama for 8 years with no leadership. Democrats run anti-Bush for 8 years with no leadership. There's nothing new here. Pelosi is the Clinton guard. How did that work out? Bernie has a message, and that was their best. One, if you go back and look at all of the elections, the people who distanced themselves from Bill Clinton lost. Whether you like Clinton as a person or not, what he did for the country and the economy was popular. He was a very popular president. You're not exactly wrong about the Republicans running against Obama, but they ran against some of his policies. They were able to run against Obamacare. Democrats against Bush, they were able to run against corporate favoritism and the war. I mean, they had things to run against, not just fuck Bush. With Trump, I mean, it's literally. I actually agree with three-sided coin here. If they ran like on universal college, I think it would be a huge fight. I don't think they would win it, but I think it would at least get their base looking like, hey, there's something to vote for.
Something populist left. That's what they have to do. Not this corporatist garbage. That's populist left is what Bernie ran on, and he was immensely popular.
He was immensely popular with a small group that wasn't going to win. I mean, second of all, the Monkey mentioned that he was a very popular president, meaning Clinton. Well, amongst his base, he was very popular, but then again, so is Donald Trump. Newt Gingrich was still able to organize the Republicans and shut down government.
Clinton's approval numbers, his approval numbers, not job approval, his were fucking outrageous for any president. I mean, his polls stayed up there constantly.
Well, he could seduce the numbers off a credit card. I mean, he would.
Yeah, exactly. That's part of it.
You don't think it would be better to run on something like repairing the Affordable Care Act, maintaining certain parts of it, as opposed to universal college?
I think anything that gets their base something to vote for. Even if you look at the thing like the universe, because three-sided coin, he said, community college. And where is it? Isn't there some place that does that already? What state? Shit. Somebody in chat help me out, because you're the ones who made me go look it up. There's a state that already does 2 years of community college or 2 years of a trade school.
Tennessee. Isn't it Tennessee?
Is it? Yeah. Yes, I think it is.
Yeah, which is a red state. How amusing.
No, it's a blue dog state, but
if they got behind something like that, I think they could make a genuine push. What I'm getting at here is not that I'm fucking conservative. I mean, I'm not a Republican, but I lean conservative. But I can look at this and go, look, there has to be something for them to vote for. If they're just voting because they hate Donald Trump, I think they lose, and not just lose the presidency. I think they'll lose the House big, and I think they'll pick up more states more.
Agree 100%.
But you're asking what would be that olive branch, and the response was college. I
just threw out an example. I mean, you could do
but I think that would be too democratic socialist to be unifying. I would say something more like repairing and maintaining the best parts of ACA would be better.
Or infrastructure, because I mean, one of the reasons that Trump won is that hated and forgotten working class white guy who used to be the solid base of the Democrats. I mean, he was that Joe Sixpack was the Democrat base for a very long period of time. And if you don't throw them a bone, where are they going to go? I mean, trade school might work, possibly infrastructure spending, because they're tradesmen. in that class.
Real quick, RJ, we'll revisit the election results here in just a minute, and we'll take a look at who won Virginia. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Prospero.
No, I was just saying that if you don't, the Democrats have gone full identity politics.
Sure.
Yes.
And it has cost them what used to be their old base. Yes, that base may be dying out, but as long as that base is being disregarded, utterly and completely, being called deplorable and all other kinds of things, and you don't throw them a bone, I mean, I would look at infrastructure spending,
But see,
where
that's-
your pipe fitters and those guys that are grubby and work with their hands, you know, those debased, horrible white dudes who are welders, you know, who voted for Trump clearly because of the Rust Belt
just
behavior.
taking a look at the exit polls from tonight, okay? White men, they only went 51% Republican. But if you look at these are the things that I look at, like for age range from 18 to 29, 67% of them went for Democrats. If you look even further, like 18 to 44, 62%. And then you go down and you look at where's the income? Income under 100,000, 57% of those went to Democrats. Under 30,000, 63% of those went to Democrats. 57 between 30,000 and 50,000. The poor people and the young people went Democrat. And if you tell them, hey, one, you get a better job with college, and two, we're going to let you go to college for free, yeah, that is going to be something that's going to rally them to the vote.
It might. I said earlier that congressional and Senate elections are more reflexively locally minded.
Sure.
And that might not translate to the national. And the main goal that the Democrats have in front of them, now that they're assured of taking the House, is to find some way to motivate the whole base to back a Democrat in 2020. If they screw the pooch, then I don't know what they're going to do.
Everybody go over to that link I just put a link and type in their chat penis toothbrush. I've been told Sinatra is streaming right now too. Do the same to him. Just go. These are all my friends. This isn't a bad thing. Don't go downvote him or anything, but just go tell him penis toothbrush. Don't say anything else. Penis toothbrush. I forget who it was that asked, but Kane has been reelected in Virginia. Did they have? They did not have
surprise.
Yeah, that was a surprise to fucking nobody. Was Stossel even taking bets on that? I don't think he was.
Probably not. He won by 15 points. 15%.
Man, Virginia used to be cool. What the hell?
Well, Virginia's been blue for. I mean, they had some red for a while, but I mean,
we were purple for a little bit, but we were red for a long time.
Back in the 80s and early 90s.
Yeah, but I mean, I've lived here since 76, and it shifted dramatically. I mean, we might have gubernatorial flip-flops,
right?
But as far as the state voted nationally, it was a very different matter. All that changed in 2006 when George Allen got run out of office on the macaque comment.
Yep.
Which was an indicator that they considered him a threat because they had to go after him. I mean, his mother was Algerian or Tunisian, and he was just repeating something he'd heard, but oh my God, he's a racist, which is the first indication that anybody who looks at a monkey joke and thinks black people, they have the problem. I mean,
Satsu's channel, yeah, penis toothbrush. Guys, I bunch of penis toothbrushes. I need that in my life. Yes, I know we're talking serious politics here, but it's also me, so you have to understand.
I gotta load an app, asshole. I'm not doing that.
The Euphoria answer again. Thank you, Bob. How is the economy better? Wages are down. Half of workers are under 30K a year. Trump increased the deficit and wants to spend more on defense. Outsourcing also increased. Next recession will include student and personal debt credit bubbles, making it worse. Okay, first of all, economy worse. How do you figure? Wages are down. Actually, the BLS report just last Friday told us wages have gone up for the first time in a long time, and they went up by what, 3.1%? I want to say it was. Half of workers make under 30K a year. That's true. That's a byproduct of where they're working.
And I think that's gone up over the course of the last year or so. The average used to be 30. Now it's like 35, I think.
And does Trump deserve credit for that? Some people say yes, some say no. If you're, depending on what school of economics you're in, some people think it takes a decade for any economic change to really make a difference. So you'd give that credit to Obama. Some people think it's less. I personally think it's less. It depends. Well, it depends on what you're changing.
It also depends on outlook, because the banks began to free up credit again.
Sure.
When Trump was elected, and that is a huge. I mean, most people are employed in this country by small business.
Satsu apparently caught on and says, "Fuck you. Go back there and tell him I said penis toothbrush."
Well, as for the military spending part of that, he wants to increase military spending. I'm frankly tired of hearing about military spending. It's a minor fraction of the federal budget when you compare it to entitlement spending.
I've heard this argument with so many people.
Less than 10%.
And I mean, the thing that the Socialist Democrats want to put forth is more entitlement spending, and that's the very thing that's going to break the federal budget before anything else will on a long enough timeline of 15 years.
Start giving me numbers. Start giving me numbers.
Let me look it up. Oh shit! What I just closed down Twitch
because those numbers that you quote, Paulie, you usually see them and you don't see the extras that are added on to the defense spending out of the Pentagon. It just doesn't get factored in appropriately. Entitlement spending, you're going to count Social Security. Did I freeze? Yeah. Oh, wait.
That is an entitlement.
Oh, sorry. I thought I froze. You're gonna start counting Social Security as entitlement spending.
Well, it is actually technically.
It's not. It's basically
Oh, what is it then? A guaranteed minimum income for people over a certain age.
And not just for people over a certain age, people with certain disabilities.
Social Security disability and Social Security retirement are different funds.
I'm
They're
willing
still
to.
Social Security. They're still entitled.
They're the same name.
Something.
Social Security disability is an entitlement spending, but it is not anywhere close to the spending level that people say that it is.
Social Security alone isn't, or entitlement spending.
So I'm saying Social Security disability is not the.
Well, that's the least of the worries.
I mean,
right, exactly.
I just brought it up.
Medicaid and ACA, and you're talking about one part of it.
Old people.
Well, Social Security. So Social Security for persons over 62 and a half years old, starting that is not. That cannot be considered entitlement spending. That was money that was put away.
It's been spent, dude. There is no.
Yes, because it's been rated, because it's been sent in to buy government bonds and to fund all these wars that we have.
Oh, good God! It was
so
spent
hold on.
a whole lot more than that.
We're getting further and further away from the point.
Yeah,
if you want to create 3 or 4 different categories and call them entitlement spendings A, B, C, and D, or give it a different name, or call it the Babies for Milk Fund, I don't care what it's called. It's still spending that, when put together as a group, absolutely dominates over something like defense spending.
But it's already been paid for. It's already been paid for. It is a Ponzi scheme. Don't get me wrong. It is a Ponzi scheme. I'm not going to deny that at all. But it's already been designed to be paid for because of the Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, but the interest it earns has not paid for it.
Talk about the allocation. Talk about allocation of it. It's already been allocated. So you can't include it into quote unquote entitlement spending. You want to actually look at the money that the Congress is actually saying, okay, just like the $667 billion that was spent back in May for military spending. That is spending. That is what we are actually spending. Social Security is already on its own path.
A Ponzi scheme.
Yes,
By
yes,
its very
Not on its own
nature
path.
has not been funded.
That's
mean,
only
you had
assuming.
wait. Time out. Three-sided coin. You had a problem with us saying talking about military spending is just a fraction.
Yes, I absolutely do. It is not.
Why
It's not
so?
187 bases around the world. Don't you think that's going to cost a bit of money? We spend more money than the next 10 countries combined on our defense spending.
That's irrelevant to the point
exactly.
of how small of a fraction of the federal budget it is. It's part of the
we
U.S.
could spend a billion times more than the next country, and it still has nothing to do with whether or not it's a huge fraction of our budget.
The various other countries that you're referring to don't have the global interests that the United States has. It's part of the United States defense posture to do so, to have those, and the number of bases actually varies because they're dumping money into support of other bases so they can launch crafts from there and so on. So the number is actually something over 200 if you want to get at it like that. But that's part of the U.S. defense posture and not material to the argument that it's still only a fraction of the U.S. federal budget.
Discretionary spending versus mandatory spending.
Uh-huh.
The military engrosses over 50% of it. Encompasses over 50% of it.
50% of which part? Mandatory or
discretionary spending?
I don't know. PolitiFact, which leans pretty left, I'm looking at it right now. Defense and Homeland Security, 16.2% of the federal budget. Social Security, 25%. Health, 28%.
Okay, well, those are already on a trajectory, right? So you want to look at discretionary spending, the money that we actually, because those are laws that have already been passed. If you want to fight, if you want to argue about the laws that have been passed, fine. We can do that, and we can absolutely reduce it a little bit. I have no problem with that. The discretionary spending that we spend year over year, defense spending is more than 50% of it.
No, it's not. It's just not. Source that. Send me the source.
Nationalpriorities.org work for you because I have it in front of me.
Nationalpriorities.org. I'll look it up.
I don't.
Or you can send it to. Can you send it to me in the side chat?
Yeah, I'll throw it in the side chat.
I don't see the importance of that argument necessarily because the PolitiFact again chart that I'm pulling from includes both discretionary and mandatory spending.
If it's already mandatory, it can. I do not consider mandatory spending. Yes, I consider mandatory spending as money that's already been spent because it's already been put into law. Discretionary is year over year law that you can make changed year over year. And if we're going to be talking about our representatives who are going to be representing us in the Congress with the purse strings, that's what we have to focus on first.
Okay.
You do before we start talking about
hang on. I'm looking at what you sent me, okay? And according to this, discretionary spending for the military, this is like 53%. So they say $1.1 trillion.
2015.
Say half of that is. Let's call it 600 billion. What is the actual mandatory military spending? I guarantee you it's not $200 billion, which or $2 trillion, which it would have to be to make up more than half of the budget. We have a $4.1 trillion budget.
Are we borrowing for Social Security? That's my question to you. Are we borrowing for Social Security?
Of course we are. We don't have enough money to pay what's supposed to be in there.
No, they say that every year you see another article that says, "Oh, Social Security only has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years to it'll be out of money in 2030, whatever." That means
hang on. Let me get this. Thank you, Ragnar. If you take out the welfare state, isn't all of our government budget covered within 45% of the estimated amount they're spending? Pay the debt. We'll get to that in a second. When they're saying that with that, that's when it's completely insolvent and there's no way we can pay it. That's when we cannot borrow enough. We cannot actually pay the people that we're supposed to with Social Security. When they say it'll be complete out of money. There's just literally nothing we can do for it.
We're not borrowing for Social Security.
We're borrowing for everything. How much? Okay.
Debt clock. Was it debt clock?
Where? How? Okay. We brought in. I think. I gotta find it again. I just read it.
U.S. debt. Here, let me side chat this one to you too. I look at this every single day. As a part of my job.
I'm gonna go ahead and answer Ragnar. Is the welfare state part of there's the problem? Look, if you go back to when Bill Clinton was president, that was what 20. How long ago was it? 90. He left in 2000, so we're talking 18 years ago. The budget was less than $2 trillion, and now it's 4. There's no reason for that to happen other than they're going crazy with spending. And if we stop that, yeah, we'd be much better off. What am I looking at here?
Scary numbers.
Debt. Look, I am all for stopping borrowing and cutting back. Just cutting the fuck back. I'm sorry. Did I say 20 trillion? 2 trillion is what I meant. Every government, every time you hear any fucking government official or somebody running for Congress or in Congress or the president talking about how we need to cut spending, none of the motherfuckers actually believe that. None of them. Every fucking one of them gets into office and shit just keeps going up and up and up, and there is no goddamn reason for it.
Okay, I'm sorry, Muck.
Go ahead.
I think we're getting further and further away from the original point that got us on this
discussion. We are.
It's just defense spending
because it's a monkey string, Polly.
Touche, but nonetheless, it is a small fraction. Assuming, let's just take the number from PolitiFact at 16.2% of both, and defense also includes domestic homeland security. So anything that falls under the umbrella of homeland security. The myriad of agencies, because it's a little more than a funding envelope, let's be honest. They're looking at that small fractious slice of the pie and then saying that this is what we need to look at first because it's discretionary spending. It's not going to adjust the overall debt by any means that are going to matter in any kind of way because of the overwhelming amount of money that's spent on health and Social Security. Talking about we need to affect that drop in the bucket while not worrying about the bucket. Well, I don't understand the point of focusing on such a, we look at the money we spend on defense. It's a small slice of the pie in comparison to other things, regardless of what we want to name the category.
Okay, speaking of that, I'm even going to bring us further back, and we're going to look at some election results, guys.
Hey, back to the election. There was an election tonight.
Yeah,
because that's what this is.
Dave Brett lost.
Where was he?
Virginia 7th.
Oh, okay.
Spanberger won it.
Real quick, Senate, 51 for the Republicans, 43 for the Democrats. It's going to be a Republican Senate, which means no impeachment. Sorry, guys. The House right now, they have it 191 Democrats to 178 Republicans. Democrats are going to control the House right now. We're just waiting to see how many flip, to see how many extras they have. It's still not going to be much. It's just not. I don't even see Virginia 7th listed as a possible. Here you go. No, that's Virginia 5. Yeah, CNN didn't even really list this as a key race, but yeah, it looks like Bratt is losing there.
Yeah, he's the guy that replaced Cantor.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question for entertainment value?
Sure.
What's weirder? Ted Cruz, whose real name is Raphael, calling himself Ted, or Beto O'Rourke, whose real name is Robert, calling himself Beto?
I would say the Cruz one because Beto, I kind of get isn't it kind of in? At least those letters are all in Robert.
Roberto.
Well, but I mean, it's like one guy who's like Cuban, tries to go with my name's Ted, as in Teddy, as in Theodore. You know, you see what I mean? And it's like, yeah, I'm like one of you down at the barbecue, Texas.
Isn't that his middle name though? Isn't
Ted Cruz? Actually, what is Ted Cruz's middle name? That's a good question. I don't know.
Snubber, thank you. Sorry, not thank you. God damn it. I hate when I do that. Snubber asks, late to the party, did the blue wave crush red, or are they being bled for every step? It doesn't look like there's going to be a crush. There's no wave. It's
That's where it comes from.
it's
The
Edward?
middle name Edward.
Edward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so like Teddy Kennedy.
Wasn't his dad Raphael? Also,
Was he named after his dad? Is that what's going
Parents, Raphael Cruz. Yeah.
yeah. So it's kind of typical to give the firstborn son the father's name, but call him by his middle name, so you're not dealing with a junior.
But it just when going into politics, you pick something that's going to go a certain way. There's if we're okay. Being in Arkansas, you want to go as Bill, not William Jefferson. You know
Did
what
you
I
just
mean?
call it Arkansas?
I did. You
Rube.
never heard that before? That's an old joke.
I have heard that. I'm shaking my head at you for saying it. Damn it, Polly. I need Bear here to yell at you for me.
Yeah. Polly.
Well, that was pretty good. Holy shit. That was like
That was actually pretty good.
Polly. Shut up, Polly.
Don't forget, guys, we're going to that link and saying penis toothbrush and then coming back. Predictions for 2020. We're gonna do that real quick. And three-sided coin, I want to start with you. Who do you think, with the candidates we are guessing right now, who do you think has the best chance of winning the DNC nomination?
God, I hope we all get nuked before any of them actually get a nomination.
Hey, come on.
Okay, not
No,
who
seriously,
you
you're
want.
not like what's
Who
wrong
you
with
think
Kamala
has-
Harris?
No,
She's
it's
chance.
Progressive and everything, and
no,
level-headed and-
I think messed up as it is, I think it's going to be Mr. Delaware.
Oh no, Biden.
Yeah,
Really?
See?
He's got
creepy Uncle Joe.
yeah, but he's got the power. He's got the
See?
connections.
I said so, Monkey, and you didn't buy it.
Yeah.
He's got the connections inside the DNC.
Scranton Joe.
Yeah,
Look,
I mean,
you
and then people
can be
talk
as
about
wrong
like
as you want.
the old guard of the Democratic Party, the corporate Democrats.
He's gonna
Yeah,
steal it again, plain and simple.
they
He'll
still
be-
control the money. I mean,
Yeah,
He'll be crushed though. I mean, it's
Well,
It-
Prospero, who do you think will win the nomination?
for the Dems.
DNC.
Unfortunately, it's going to be a Biden or a Clintonista, and Biden might as well be a Clintonista. It won't be Clinton. She will get nuked.
She's going to get destroyed.
Oh yeah,
I
But-
can't wait.
it's not.
You and me both, man.
I don't see Kamala Harris or Gillibrand being able to do it because they share a brain. They are very, very prone to gaffes.
Gillibrand's an idiot.
Yeah, I mean Gillibrand is, and so is Kamala Harris because she just tainted herself with that person that's been referred to the DOJ for prosecution. She never looked into the fact that the woman was 15 years older than Brett Kavanaugh when she was supposedly banged up in the back seat of the car. And it's like, okay, look, I understand that older women are raped, but holy shit, did you not even look into
Prospero,
this
it's
person?
a scandal's only a scandal if it becomes a scandal. Sorry for the bullshit, but it's true. This is how
Oh, that's
Obama was
true.
able.
Yeah.
This is
Oh,
how
yeah.
Obama was able to get away with saying, like, what am I proudest of about my presidency? Well, no scandals, and it's
No
like,
scandal. Yes.
yeah,
No
and
scandals.
people were like, "What the fuck?" Like everyone who noticed the scandals was like, "What the fuck?" But a scandal is only that once it's reported on as such.
Well, 501c3s don't matter.
No, they don't, and Fast and Furious doesn't matter.
Fast and
And then
Furious.
using your presidential privilege to make sure that your attorney general can't be subpoenaed for things he did related to Fast and Furious or
Oh.
killing an American, possibly unconstitutionally overseas.
Two Americans.
Two Americans, and then
yeah.
refusing a lawful request from somebody from your own party asking for your disposition matrix on how you're killing people overseas extra constitutionally.
Oh, but yeah, I mean,
Hang on. I need to bring this back. I got to be a host here because you guys are too smart and you guys keep going in too many directions. Hang on. Polly, who do you think has the best chance for the DNC nomination?
See, this is tough because nobody's declared. Like, you know what I mean? So we're going off of a weird bunch. The smart money right now is on Biden.
Yeah, that makes me laugh.
But it's true. You know, it's not a bad bet. You know, it's Harris, I think, is going to go pretty farther than people think, because you mentioned, it was like a gaffe, not exactly a gaffe, but I get your point. Like, you know, backing up somebody that turned out to be a blatant liar. It's
nobody on her side's going to care.
It's going to be very easily spun into the idea that she was a righteous seeker of the truth and willing to speak truth to power. That's the way that she's going to present it. She was willing to go where the facts led her and question Kavanaugh in a way that any Supreme Court justice nominee should be questioned.
Yeah, I don't think
harshly and critically. You know,
what do you think about Booker?
Booker is going to be the nominee.
I love me some Booker, man, but I think he's a great public speaker. I do not think he's a great off the top of the head thinker.
He doesn't have to be. Obama wasn't.
I yelled at Booker at a restaurant in Trenton, New Jersey.
Oh, did you run into him?
He was at a campaign stop. Oh God, what was this? This was 2014, 2013 or whatever. And I yelled at him for being a fucking sellout.
I hate that politics does come down to this, but it does. Monkey, you said like Obama's not either. Yes, but Obama has something that Booker's lacking: a hell of a lot of charm and charisma.
He was telegenic.
Obama is a very charismatic guy.
He was telegenic,
and that makes up for a lot of when your teleprompter goes down. You know, it does.
Obama was a good reader. That was it, and it came across his charm. And actors can do that. Corey
I
can
know.
learn.
I'm not happy that politics comes down to that, but for Booker, off the top of his head in presidential debates, I don't think he's going to come across as strong as he does.
No, he's going to look like Tim Kaine in the debate.
Need I reference the Spartacus moment? I mean, that was him trying to be hardcore and mic drop.
If he wanted a real Spartacus moment, he would have like quarterbacked that report, that Kavanaugh report, out of that room. If he really wanted to be, I was so hoping that he would like do something.
You mean like grab it and like bolt out of the room?
Yeah, why not? What are they gonna do? Stop us?
Okay, I never thought about that. That quarterback is just smacking people, checking them left, right.
Let me ask you this seriously.
He would have gone to prison if he had. But
do we all agree that right now, Democratic politics is wrapped up in identity politics?
Oh yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
And you all think a white man is going to be there?
But come on, Monkey. Identity politics when it comes to white folks is as long as you're virtue signaling, and he loves to virtue signal. Remember and they want to put y'all back in chains. That's he can do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think here's a problem. Okay, so I was at Occupy. Okay, I was there. Okay. I was on the ground there. It started out actually something pretty damn good with libertarians, to be honest with you, and the original Occupy movement was, okay, we're going to hold the banks accountable. We're going to sit there. We're going to hold the banks accountable. But the problem with the Democratic Party is that they have no backbone, and they go to this identity politics. And when these people come up to the mic, I mean, take a look at Bernie back when those two women stormed the stage and took it. He just that was absolutely embarrassing, in my opinion. And what needs to happen with the Democratic Party is that we need to get a freaking backbone, grab Monkey's newspaper, and smack them and say no.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. The power of no is non-existent in the Democratic Party right now, because a newly elected governor in Illinois is the richest man to ever hold office. He's a Democrat. That is not good optics for the party of the people.
All Democrats are freaking Republicans of the 90s, and I do not want to vote.
You're not wrong.
No, you're not wrong at all. Oh, yeah, it's I mean,
you know where else identity politics has become a really big thing? Comic books. And you can find out about comic books on my channel.
Don't forget to put your link in there, bud.
well done, Shill.
I promised Jack that I would very uncomfortably show my channel with no grace whatsoever. So there, Jack.
Look,
done.
If you come on one of my streams, you are absolutely welcome to show your shit in the chat.
It's also that our
and if you can,
our weekly live
sneak it in live, that's awesome as well. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If the Democrats were smart, they'd run Tulsi Gabbard. But
I was just gonna say
they're not smart.
If we're gonna talk about who I want to run in 2020, it would be Gabbard.
But she's not your typical progressive. By the way,
she's not.
She's like a Joe Manchin without the taint.
Okay, I don't know her. What spell her last name for me?
Gabbard. It's Tulsi. Gabbard.
There she is. Okay, sorry, I'm not familiar with her. Oh, she's Hawaii.
Yeah,
they have sane ones down there.
Well, she is actually an extremely good extemporaneous speaker.
She's
military service,
ex-military, former military. I'm sorry, not ex. She was not dishonorably discharged.
I could see maybe her and Duckworth teaming up.
Yeah, I don't know. You're not going to see the Democrats float a woman.
Oh, I'm not saying that would happen. I'm just saying I would be happy to see something like that.
I wouldn't, because it's not representational.
Who cares about representation? I care about policy and politics.
Well,
I like both of their policies.
The Democrats love representational.
Yes. They're all.
Well, she's a woman. Nothing wrong with that.
And then Duckworth is Asian.
So yeah.
Yeah, but Asians are the new whites, so that's out.
Well, that's how they can become Asian again.
Oh wait, did we get a Supreme Court ruling on that Harvard thing with the Asians?
Not yet.
I haven't seen it yet. No.
Maybe
it was before the current session.
And I think that's probably going to tie, because that was when they only had 8 in there, right? So
I don't
Harvard
know
will be allowed to do it for a while.
I don't know when they took it up, and it will depend. Breyer can be a surprise on occasion.
Kyler, certainly. Hang on, sorry. Just got off work. Could I get a quick overview? I'm overriding because that's actually what we're talking about tonight. Is the election, guys? It's election time, and nothing surprising, Kyler. Democrats are going to take the House, probably. Let's see.
They're still plus 34 on.
So that would be 11. They would have it by 11 seats. The Republicans held the Senate, and the gubernatorial races are going back and forth, and they're legalizing marijuana in my state.
Yay!
Medical or recreational?
Recreational, my friend. Recreational.
Did it pass?
Yes, it did. Overwhelmingly.
Yay!
That's awesome.
It's about goddamn time.
It is, and because people have often told me, you should talk to your doctor about marijuana, and I don't want to talk to my doctor about that. I don't want my doctor to think that I'm out there because I want to get high. But if they legalize that shit, monkey gonna get high. Now, I will take a hit and see how it works, and if it does work, then good. Let's see. Let's go over some ballot measures, shall we? Do you guys know what this Marcy's Law is?
No. Go inform me.
There's various different incarnations of it. In Georgia, it's going to be Amendment number 4. It creates a constitutional right for crime victims and allows victims to assert those rights. That sounds very generic, doesn't it? In Kentucky, it creates a constitutional right for crime victims and allows victims to assert those rights. It requires victims to be informed and have a voice in the judicial process. And everywhere that this was on there, it seems to have passed. Here in Michigan, yes, 57% to 42%, we have passed recreational marijuana. Dude, I'm so happy. I really am. In Nebraska, and not for me, seriously. If I get it, it will be a medical thing. I'll take a hit, throw it away. I know so many people who smoke pot, and I have no problem with it. I think if alcohol's legal, pot should be. I mean, but between the two, I will take a pothead over a fucking drunk any day.
Oh yeah, potheads may be a little slacker, but they don't tend to be violent.
Right? They're too fucking. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I just want hash legalized because I couldn't smoke dope because it put me to sleep. But hash was like drinking a glass of wine. Oh my God! I just admitted to drug use on stream.
Damn you!
Oh, how horrible!
Permanent. The internet never forgets.
Yeah, I know. I won't run for office.
North Carolina has passed an amendment requiring voter ID if you vote in person.
Oh, how horribly racist of them.
55.5 to 44.5 that passed.
Wow. And that includes Charlotte Mecklenburg. So it's like
in Oregon, there was a measure to repeal the sanctuary state law, and it lost.
Of course it did.
It lost bad, 62 to 37% with 90% reporting in. They also had one for prohibit public abortion funding, and it lost as well.
Look, Portland and Eugene control Oregon. It's the bottom line. Anybody who lives east of the Cascades is some dirtbag farmer or rancher.
Here's one similar or about something we talked about earlier. Expand Medicaid. Expands Medicaid coverage under the Affordable Care Act, including people under 65 whose income is 138% or below the federal poverty line.
Is 138% below?
Below.
Holy crap. I mean, that is an impressive amount below.
Oh, no. 138% or below?
138%
yeah.
of or below.
No, or below. If I said of, I said it wrong. I'm sorry.
Okay.
West Virginia also had an amendment to restrict public abortion funding, and it passed barely by the other ballot measures. It was 51 to 48. What else do we have? Yeah, there were some interesting ballot measures, guys. Expanding Medicaid passed in Ohio as well.
Oh, what was the Florida one? Let's see here. About vaping.
Really? Let me see if that's not one that's listed on CNN
specifically.
Yeah, there was something about vaping in Florida. Where is that?
Florida. Whoops. It helps if I spell it right.
I think it was a constitutional amendment
to the Florida Constitution.
Yes.
Okay.
Amendment 9. Here we go.
It would just be jammed in and included with cigarettes because it's nicotine containing?
I think it also has something with offshore drilling.
Yes. I found an article.
It's so weird.
Florida passed this year's weirdest ballot measure initiative, a ban on vaping and offshore drilling. Amendment 9 was a strange but very real ballot initiative that bundled together two completely unrelated issues. With support of more than 60% of voters, the amendment passed and will revise the state's constitution to prohibit both offshore drilling and gas drilling and the use of e-cigarettes in indoor workplaces. What the fuck do those have to do with each other?
They don't. That's why when
you know what happened? Florida man wrote that. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Prospero.
No, that's exactly why. Like Taylor Swift went after Marsha Blackburn and how she voted about the Violence Against Women Act. And if you dug into what was in the act, what was added to the act as it moved through, Marsha Blackburn actually had a principled, whether you agree with her or not, but a principled objection to it because it changed the flavor of the bill. This happens all the time. People will say they voted against blah. And then you look at how many amendments were attached to the bill. And you realize, well, hell, that makes this a deal breaker because it's a cynical move to attach unrelated things to one another in order to provoke a pass.
Have you ever heard of the justifications that some of these amendment writers put on there to say something about, let's say, pig importation, and somehow they put a rider in there about highway use or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
And you see these mental backflips that they have to do to justify it, and you're just like,
what I'd like to see is an actual law about one issue, one bill.
Subject matter singularity, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Because this rider nonsense, especially for appropriation bills, completely misleads the public as to who supports what. Because there might be a veterans hospital bill that is perfectly reasonable on its face, but you have sugar subsidy and pig shit disposal attached to it, and you end up with a icky mess and a campaign ad.
Poison pills.
Yeah, and it's utterly insane. It's like the ACA. How many pages was that damn bill? 1,030 or something?
Yeah, way too big.
Nobody could read it.
Right.
If you cannot write simplistic legislation on a topic, don't write it.
My rental agreement for my house won't allow me to vape inside, or won't allow me to smoke inside, I mean to say, which is why I vape inside. Even when I'm streaming, which you can find me doing over at my channel. Link is in the description.
Very well done. The law was for workplaces, so you could still vape in your house, which is cool. But you
my rental agreement won't allow me to smoke though, which is why I vape.
Thank you, Brian Mullins, the Fox. What did the libertarian say when he had to use the bathroom? I got to vote for the yellow wave.
The only way libertarians get in.
I put my Streamlabs link in there, guys. If you'd like to donate to the channel, if you enjoy what we do here, this is my job. So if you like it, toss some coins into the hat, and I will love you for it. I'll love you anyway. But also, there's a link that I'm going to put in the chat. I need a whole bunch of people just to go over there and say, "Dick toothbrush." We're changing it from penis to dick. Dick toothbrush, because I want to see Satsu's head explode.
I did that over at Sinatra's stream, and I think I was one of the few who did. I didn't see any.
Oh yeah, if you guys want to go to Sinatra's stream, you can do that too. I want to get Satsu up to 100 viewers just for a few moments, all saying "Dick toothbrush." Thank you, Gregory Hurst. There goes my Veterans Hospital / pig shit depository. Well, you know, I've had a problem with that for years and years and years. When they add, I understand amendments and stuff to bills, but they should be related to the bill. What happens a lot of times is they will throw something on there, and then it's like, oh, look how they voted against giving children food. It's like, no, that's not what the bill was originally about. Oh, the Sinatra stream's done. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. I unfortunately, single issue bills it's more complex than you would think. Like sometimes one bill will have multiple aspects to it, and then you can run a quasi filibuster by arguing what should be removed from said bill, because it's not actually part of the main thrust of the bill. Do you know what I mean? It's actually surprisingly complicated. Like there's certain parliamentary legislatures in the world that have single item bills, rules that they're only going to consider things, and they get filibustered all the time on what they're going to do, because people just like, well, line 3 really should be disallowed. Well, I think line 4A should be included, but only if it is changed in its language in this way. And
is that worse than having that same argument about a bill, vaping and oil drilling at the same fucking time?
I hear you. I
get what you're saying. I do.
Someone's using like the power of the paperclip, you know.
Yeah. It's either way, they're going to be fucking dumbasses, because that's what they do. They can't just. Okay, I want to ask you guys this, because I honestly think if the Democrats want to capitalize on this, they have to help get something passed. They need to work with the Republicans. It doesn't have to be something major, just a bill that they can say we're bipartisan when they're going into 2020. And if they don't, if all they do is obstructionist shit, I think they're screwed. But I really think they need to reach across the aisle, find something, anything that they can agree on, and get it passed through. Thoughts?
I think they could probably do something they might be able to do something small for immigration, because that's really a geo location based issue more than a left or right issue.
Sure.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I just want to understand what you're saying. Three-sided. They could do something small for immigration because you think it's more of a geolocation issue.
Yeah, you have your border states are going to be more apt, and that's not a. I mean, you're not saying a red state or a blue state is going to be, well, maybe you are because of identity politics, but you're not. But traditionally, we'll say you can get more of a feel about which way somebody's going to vote based on their actual location relative to the border for immigration purposes, rather than whether or not they're red or blue.
Do you think California representatives, and there's a fuck ton of them, are going to go along with something that's small about immigration? They're not going to demand that as part of a comprehensive immigration reform package, because that's.
I honestly could see Feinstein and Cruz agreeing on something small, not comprehensive, not fully on it, just something. The question was, is there something that they could win on? And I think it would be something small in immigration that they could say bipartisan about.
I think that they could agree on something small about immigration over coffee, yes. But what I'm saying is I think that we are not going to have this argument about or pass this tiny little bill when the entire immigration issue stands in front of our faces and blah, blah, blah. They'll demand that it's part of a larger comprehensive immigration reform package.
So you're just a cynic.
No, I'm a political realist.
He's a nihilist.
No, he's a pragmatist.
Satsu's trying to invade me the way we did him, so we need something better to say to him.
What's he playing? Red Dead?
Yeah, he's playing Red Dead over there. But I need something horrible to say in his chat that's not going to get him kicked off.
I mean, all I mean to say is that you would have to have somebody with LBJ's ability to get legislation passed and his ability to give people the treatment, as it was called. That man knew how to get bills passed. And it was nefarious the way he pulled it off. Don't get me wrong, but
let me ask you this. And to everyone, do you think we have any statesmen anymore?
Oh, fuck no.
Yeah, that's actually a really sharp question, and the answer is no.
We need a statesman, somebody with so much charisma, not and just have that aura of patriotism and statesmanship and working across the aisle. That's what we need. I don't care if it's Republican or Democrat. We need somebody who can just be not a divider, but what's the word? Joiner.
Uniter.
Thank you.
We haven't.
It's late.
If you buy into international relations theory like realism, they're statesmen or states are black boxes, and statesmen are really only a result of external pressures. Like Winston Churchill was only a great leader simply because of the external pressures upon the UK at the time. Once the external pressure was gone, they voted his ass out so fast, you think he had never done anything good.
But the British have always been fickle that way. Polly, they were fickle that way throughout the 19th century. I'm not knocking your study of political theory in that regard, but I think the last statesman president we had, Reagan, came pretty close. He was incredibly divisive, but he had an international alliance that accomplished something. The
last, if we're talking chronologically, who was the last great statesman who accomplished something internationally, with swift aplomb, that would have been H.W. Bush. Look how quickly he built a fucking consensus on the Kuwait thing. Yeah, that was mind-blowingly fast.
Yeah, it was, and he was Reagan's inheritor.
Good call. He knew enough to know how to do it.
He did not have to haul a lot of water to pull that off because Reagan had seduced a large number of people to his cause because he was seeing measurable results.
I'm going to go grab a coffee, gentlemen and lady. I will be right back.
Thank you, sir.
Going back to the immigration question, because I think you're right on that three-sided coin. I think immigration would be a great one for them to reach across the aisle and work on. I don't think it has to be a big thing, and I do think there's enough. I think the biggest pressure would be from Democrats, actually, who would be like, wait, this isn't enough. But I think if you get somebody, not Pelosi, somebody like Pelosi, somebody who's been in the Congress for a while, who understands how politics actually works, that it is not just getting a whole bunch of outrage and doing nothing about it. I think you could get at least enough people to go in there and vote. And I'm trying to think of what they could do. What
I have a question though in regard to that.
Yeah.
Are the Democrats going to acknowledge sovereignty? As in borders.
I just think they have a different version of it than.
No, I mean as in borders. Because
but they do. And most of your politicians, I haven't heard very many of them talk about like an open border. What they talk about is when people are here, how we need to treat them.
There's a large amount of money though in the open borders movement, and that
I understand. But you don't see the politicians out there talking about it,
except in California.
Some of them.
Some of the noisy ones.
I just don't think it's that loud. Like you didn't see Pelosi, for instance, running on open borders.
I'm sure in some deranged ranch he probably did.
Well, I think they're more of once they're here, we have to take care of them. Look, I don't think that they see sovereignty the way I do, where like don't come across my fucking border. But I don't think they've, in their mind, I don't think that it's a question of sovereignty. They still see the U.S. as sovereign.
I'm not sure they do.
Dax says, so why is this a monkey in the morning? Because I named it that.
It's morning where I am. It's 12.
It's morning now.
Yeah. It's 12:43 here too.
What are you talking about? It's morning, Dax. Wake up, bitch. Okay, let's do another update. Still says 51 Republicans for the Senate, 43 Democrats. In the House, it's 200 Democrats to 186 Republicans. And governorships, which isn't quite the same, is 23 Republicans, 19 Democrats. The races are going pretty much how everybody thought.
Real quick, can anyone explain to me Massachusetts? Because I had not been paying attention to this. So to the Senate, they sent Elizabeth Warren.
Yes.
All 9 houses.
Yeah, Warning is a good.
That's it. All 9 houses were Democrat, and the governor is Republican.
Yep, that is kind of normal for Mass.
Well, I have not been paying attention to.
I was a masshole
to them at all.
As a kid, I lived in Massachusetts from age 8 to 18, although my actual legal residence was 8 to 21. That's Massachusetts for you.
A Massachusetts Republican is not a.
Yeah, I get that.
A Republican.
Yeah, I get that. I don't know anything about Charlie Baker.
He has been extremely successful as a governor. They're not upset with him. He was an incumbent, and that's why he was reelected. It's that simple. It's like people are reflexively used to voting for Elizabeth Warren, which is why she got in again, despite the optics.
In California, Feinstein has been projected the winner. We knew that. Cantwell up in Washington.
Getting money out of politics isn't working too well for the Democrats, is it?
They never wanted the you mean the progressives? Getting money out of politics for progressives is not working, but the corporate Democrats never wanted to get money out of politics.
No, they and the progressives haven't been too good at encouraging them to.
No, we haven't.
No, and
Oh shit!
Bernie, unfortunately, that was a big clap and sellout. So it hurt the progressive cause tremendously. I mean, you have these pockets of the Ocasio-Cortez types, but
McCaskill has been
You're
voted out.
yes, by Claire.
Holy shit!
Oh God, I love that.
Air Claire.
I was not expecting that. Yeah, they've called Missouri for Holly. I'm guessing how you say that.
Yeah, and she bought and paid for that one.
That's I was not expecting that. She's one of those ones that I expected would be there for a while. What else do we have going on? Yeah,
Both Minnesotas went Democrat. Looks like
Missouri's very red, locally, and so McCaskill losing is not that big of a surprise. She irked a lot of people with the hard line on Kavanaugh, and she got caught saying some things she shouldn't have said.
let's see. Somebody asked, how's Wisconsin doing? No flipped seats in Wisconsin that anybody was expecting. They're going how they were.
What about Ryan's seat though? Because he's retired.
Where was Ryan?
Crap, I don't remember which district.
Yeah, I got to look that up because
we got a runoff in Mississippi.
Paul Ryan. Just tell me where he was fucking what district.
Was it a jungle?
Wisconsin first. Looks like it's going to stay Republican.
Okay.
Let's see. Got to zoom in on the map here. CNN, your map sucks.
Was Mississippi a jungle primary or something?
No, it's a special. So there's two elections. There was the first regular Senate election. Roger Wicker's back on; he's incumbent. And then there's a special election. And then Sidney Highsmith and Mike Espy both failed to get above 50, so 41.6 and 40.3. So they'll go to a runoff. They'll advance to a runoff. Chris
Steele,
McDaniel.
I think it's Stell. It took Ryan's seat, and yeah, he's a winner there. Somebody asked, what about was it Connecticut that I just saw? Yeah, Connecticut right there from Corey. Let's see, Connecticut, solid blue.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
I'm really pissed off about PA1. I'll tell you that much. Fitzpatrick and his parents could go fuck themselves. They built a fence where they shouldn't have.
Oh.
I actually own a home in the same neighborhood that Congressman Fitzpatrick's parents live in, and they really pissed off the neighborhood.
Oh, gotcha.
Can I address something in chat real briefly?
Of course.
And I think, Monkey, you'll appreciate this. Sean DW175 just asked if I were Liz Reptile.
No, she's not. You can't tell by the voice?
Yeah, I was gonna say, it doesn't even sound like.
Somebody asked about Arizona. It's split Republican and Democrat, which is normal. Man, yeah, nothing really surprising. The only one that surprises me, I can't believe McCaskill lost her seat.
Oh, I do. That does not surprise me in the least.
Me neither.
That was in the wind. She had stepped on so many toes.
Sorry, just got back. Who stepped on? Who?
Claire McCaskill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm enjoying it too, Polly.
Excuse me.
I mean, she won the urban areas hands down. But the rest of the state, it's very much the same that what happened with Cruz. I called Texas early on, and Scribe stopped me. They're like, no, you can tell by what had come in already.
Hey, he only lost by 3.2%. That is a really strong, strong showing. I'm seeing 99% in.
Oh yeah, 99% in. CNN is only saying 3.2. So it's not horrible.
It's a strong showing.
I'm curious why Fox News called Democratic control of the House 2 hours before CNN did.
Because CNN is trying very hard to be neutral. They're going overboard with it.
You think so? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think they're they still haven't called Michigan. Oh, there you go, Michigan for Whitmer.
What are you saying? CNN has credibility problems?
Maybe.
Get out of here with your crazy talk.
They finally called Michigan for Stabenow. Fuck that bitch.
What's Montana doing?
Montana. They're finally leaning red now that Moore's coming in. They were leaning blue earlier.
Well, Tester's still up.
I just can't. Well, yeah, in the Senate, they only have one House person in the House that's trending blue. It's weird for the Senate to be red and Senate to be blue, House red. That's odd.
I'm seeing on NBC 58% in, and oh no, wait, that's right, yeah. Huh. Oh, they're both incumbents, I guess.
Yeah, and that happens too often. Like, who's already in there? Let's just put their dumb ass back. What am I looking at? I'm looking at the Senate. Okay, in the Senate, Hawaii flipped? No, that's not flipped. Why is it? I had this on flipped, you asshole. Your map sucks. In the Senate, that's kind of funny. The only flips are 2 Republican. They're moving more right.
I sent you something on Twitter, and it's mainly for the headline. Monkey.
Wait. RJ says a certain someone is trying to suspend your Twitter. Is it Alyssa? Please tell me Alyssa's finally noticed me.
It was.
I love me some Twitter.
All of this disagreement was all feigned. He actually just really wanted him to notice.
I just want to see her naked again. Although in the pictures I've seen of her naked, her titties are weird looking.
I'd still disagree with you. I think they're fine. Yeah.
No, her nipples are weird.
We're talking like from the vampire movie, right?
Yeah, her nipples are weird.
No, well, they were.
She's got bubbly nipples.
They're called puffy.
Those are bubbly.
Nah, man, they were fine.
A bubbly nipple, man.
That's it. Fine. I got it. That's what the Democrats run on. All women must be topless.
There you go.
Boom.
Yeah, that'll secure the intersectional crowd in a minute,
huh? Let's see. Van Jones, it's a rainbow wave.
Wow, he's in denial, isn't he?
Yeah. But yeah, guys, nothing super special about this one. We're not going to see TYT videos for the next 2 years, unfortunately.
Oh,
well, they won't be nearly as entertaining as the meltdown, because what makes Cenk yelling, we're still at war, like that, what made that so funny is how smug they were at the beginning.
Yeah.
To have them removed from that. But there are numerous moments that I saw from the Young Turks tonight that are totally worthy of a supercut. He was going after the corporate Democrats like nobody's business.
I really wanted the Democrats to lose, even if they, if it was 50-50, it would have been great. Because the meltdown would have been awesome. They're going to pick up enough seats that they'll be like, see, everybody's on our side. Like, no, they're not. You picked up like 10 seats. What is it, by 538? They're saying what, they'll have it by 11 seats.
I can't wait for their explanation of how that's a wave.
Twitter is really going to town with
Twitter's
Beto
awesome.
O'Rourke and Ted Cruz, where it's like Beto O'Rourke might as well have won the way everyone's talking.
Well, let's talk about
Well, Reuters said so.
Beto beat off. My sweetheart, Alyssa Milano, said now he can run for president. Governors and senators and congressmen and anyone who's old enough can run for president, sweetheart.
Yeah, well, that's making lemonade out of lemons. That's what
well, no. There was this story the other day that said even if he loses, he wins. Like, really?
That was Reuters.
He doesn't even have his congressional seat anymore. I mean, he gave up his congressional seat to run for the Senate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like what's he going to go down the same route of creepy porn lawyers try to get fame by doing nonsense? I don't see the path there. I mean, I get we're in the world of Donald Trump right now. I get that, but it's just there's just no path for him to foreseeably, short of like coming out as a I don't even know how he would parlay it.
He can't.
I don't think there's a path to to 1600 Pennsylvania Ave there, but there's definitely an exploratory committee that's being formed as of tonight. Like it's going to be like nearly beat Ted Cruz. The support is there.
Yeah.
Beat off what he could do is get a TV job out of this.
Yes.
That's it.
He's going to be on CNN or MSNBC.
Telemundo.
Yeah, Telemundo.
Yeah. I don't see. There's no way to turn this into the presidency.
I can't wait to hear him on Telemundo, the three-sided coin, because his Spanish is execrable. So
No, his Spanish is good. I mean, he in his stump speech and actually in Cruz's stump speech, in both of them, and Cruz's took me by surprise when I started hearing it. They both gave Spanish parts of their stump speech. Beto's was positive, and Cruz's was kind of like sarcastic. Like, they tell me that I'm all horrible to Hispanics or whatever, and then he goes on in a Spanish rant for a little bit.
I guess it all depends on whether you speak with a Cuban accent or a Mexican accent.
Canadian. He spoke with a Canadian accent.
Nice.
Yeah, funny. He's Cuban.
All right, guys. I think we're gonna wrap this up. There's nothing more coming in really. Just to recap, we have 51 Republicans confirmed in the Senate, 43 Democrats. So the Democrats are not going to get the Senate. The 3 seats that we saw flip in the Senate all went to the Republicans. Over in the House, the Democrats have flipped enough that they're going to have control. Right now, it's looking like maybe a 10-seat lead over the Republicans. So congratulations to the winners. And marijuana will be legal in my state.
Yay.
And with that, chat, thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks for the donations tonight. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate those and how much I just appreciate you guys coming by and watching. Polly, Prospero, 3-sided coin, thank you guys so much for joining me. Guys, we'll see you next time. Bye.
See you later.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.